Good morning, everyone. So, I wanted to take some time to talk about marijuana, given that it is recently legalized here in the state of California. So, we're going to take a three-pronged approach. Talk about how marijuana affects the mind. Talk about how marijuana affects spirituality. Then we're going to talk about how marijuana affects emotion. So, basically, philosophy becomes fluid under the influence of marijuana, and attachments to beliefs are dropped. It is as if you enter into a sea of beliefs, something you can swim around and have fun with. So hypocrisy is exposed or reveals itself as being part of nature when someone is stoned, because, as I said, their philosophy is changing on a moment-to-moment basis, or on a day-to-day basis, one might say. And therefore, what they do yesterday may contradict what they're doing today because their philosophy has changed. So, and the individual takes note of his own hypocrisy as well, and that can be uncomfortable. Regarding spirituality, the individual's perceptions of synchronicities or of radical coincidences increases under the influence of marijuana. Neglected chakras, perceptive centers, or energy centers are opened and embodied. This can lead to a hypersexuality because our society is repressed sexually. And so when you move into these neglected centers, especially the lower centers, the more Shivayic or first and second chakras, namely, then they tend to be the more neglected chakras. And so when you move into these, you can become hypersexual or even hyper survival, like have a heightened sense of survival instincts. Okay, and finally, regarding emotion, Mary Jane can and will increase the intensity of emotion. Okay, so all of the above leaves the individual feeling fragile, emotionally fragile. And emotions generated in relationships are actually defended against, and with an increased frequency and intensity. So, not so much feelings that are self generated or that the environment generates in oneself, those are tolerated and embraced. But when you're involved in a relationship with another human being, when you feel fragile, then if that person elicits emotions in you, then those are the ones that tend to be defended against because they don't want to become overwhelmed by emotions that are now intensified by the marijuana. So this fragility lends itself to a paranoid mindset. And most importantly, the defended state may resemble narcissism or whatever other personality disorder the individual has tendencies towards. It resembles narcissism in particular because in a defended state, the stoned individual lacks empathy. He's defending himself against his own feelings and therefore doesn't really value others who are in the process of valuing their own feelings. So, this is the mindset of a stoned individual, and I ask that you please take care first with Mary Jane in general, if you're going to use or indulge or just take care. And take care of when relating to quote unquote stoned individuals because, that's their mindset. It's not a sober mindset. Alrighty, that's all I have to say. I'll leave talking about how marijuana affects the body to the neurophysiologists and the experts in the field. I hope you're doing really well. I hope the message finds you well. Love you. Bye for now.